Jimmy Jam. We're back here on the BBN Fan Show, the loyal BBN Fan Show, and we're just here, just to have fun with you all tonight. And we got some topics we're going to talk about. Miss Leigh, how was your day?
It was good. It was hot.
Yeah,
They kept saying we were gonna get some rain. We got a 5 minute with the sunshine out sprinkle. Usually, if it rains when the sun's out, it doesn't last long. We may end up getting some storms here shortly. So if y'all lose me, I didn't ditch you.
yeah. We were supposed to get a little bit. It's been sunshining here for the last about an hour or something like that. But yeah,
It's been so
everything's
hot.
yeah. It's been humid. It's not like hot. It's humid. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I'll tell you what, no matter what we're going through temperature wise, Big Mike, we
Hey,
love him. He's
yeah.
dealing with some heat.
He just texted me just a little bit ago, and he was saying, everything's going good and stuff, and he was wanting to know who our highlight player was going to be tonight and everything. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but
Well,
yeah, he seems like he's doing good, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping everything's going better.
right, me too. And a big shout out to Big Mike. So we
Yes.
love you. We hope you're doing well. And yeah, we love you.
But we had some things we was going to talk about today. We'll start out. Tay Kenny, he's going to be visiting next week on the 24th and 25th. Is that a pretty good surprise for you, Miss Leigh?
It really is. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Hit that like button for Big Mike to
Yeah,
show him that you miss him. It's not really a surprise with the fact that he played on the team with Jasper Johnson.
yeah, OTE, yeah.
Yes, he played on the overtime elite. I think Jasper's been talking to him.
Hmm.
I think that he's got a list of Bama, Oregon. Who else is it? Purdue, Louisville, and us. That's his
Louisville and
list.
I,
And I really think that it's going to come down between Louisville and us. For some reason, I think he likes the area and the programs. Um,
mhm.
but I think after Jasper's been talking to him, I really don't think. Um, I think we might have a chance. I'm really excited.
I believe our chances gotten a lot better. I believe about a couple of months ago we was maybe in a bad situation with him, but I think it's improved. I think with Pope being out there in Colorado with him, he's out there. He was practicing also, but with Jasper talking to him and getting in his head about the Kentucky situation and everything like that, I believe Kentucky is catching up ground. If Louisville had a little bit of an advantage, I think maybe it might be just 50-50, even right now.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think that either team really has an advantage yet. I don't think either
Hmm.
team really has an edge because, I mean, for all we know, he's going to take a visit to Louisville after he comes here. I mean, he's in
Yeah,
the area. It would only make sense.
yeah, I
What's
know.
up, Tyrone? Hope you're doing well tonight.
Let me
But
see.
I do think that, I do think that neither team has an advantage yet. And there's no crystal ball predictions. There's nothing even said in that area either.
No,
Uh,
there's hardly
but here,
anything going on with crystal ball, things right now. Not until the fall, late November, December, the signing period, early signing period. I think maybe some of these players might wait until spring, but you never know. There could be a couple of them that go ahead and pull the trigger and
yeah,
let's get it over with.
I don't
And
see him doing that though. I see
yeah,
him
I
taking
think
a
he'll
long
wait.
time.
I could see maybe Tyrone Stokes, uh, uh, you know, Kristen Collins, something like that, maybe making the decision. I know Kentucky is high on Jason Crow Jr. The
Yep.
thing with him is that I don't know right now with his level of play. He's out there with the USA team, so that is a good situation and looks prospering for him. Whether that is the type of player that Kentucky is going to want, and even though Jason Hart is recruiting him, and he's on Kentucky staff, and he is a family, basically relative. He's like a
Yeah.
godfather
Yeah.
to him. I think that's going to work out good.
I think that might give us a little bit of an edge. And speaking of being out there right now, Jasper Johnson made the cut. He's in the top 18.
Yeah,
So,
and he
props to
stayed.
him.
Yeah, he's staying. Pope has told him go win a gold medal.
Yeah.
Whatever time it takes for you to do it, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, for sure. Peanut, hey Peanut, what's up? Says Ansley just going TBT, not fifth year. Yeah, we
Yeah.
knew that.
Well,
The
you go.
TBT we're going to talk about as well. We've got
Yeah.
some stuff to talk about with that. We can go right on in. One thing I want to mention about being out there in Colorado, Mark Pope coaching these guys, that's huge.
Oh.
And it's really huge when you're talking to guys that you're actually looking at,
Mhm.
that you want for your team, and they can get an idea of how you coach, like actually coach, like not just what they've seen. They can get an idea of how he actually coaches
Mhm.
because he is coaching them. So I think that gives us an advantage.
Yeah, they were saying that was so great what they were seeing, that Mark Pope was always talking to every player, not just slapping them on their back and say, "Hey, good play," or this or that. He was floating around. He was talking when players was not on the floor. He was over there like catching rebounds for
Right.
other players, for Tyrone Stokes, for Tay Kenny, all these players. He was going, even players that he recruited and was going to another team, signed with somebody else.
Still
He was
treating them the
still
same.
treating them the same way he was treating any player he was recruiting, right now. So
Yeah,
and that's just great recruiting, and that
is.
just shows it for Pope how much he cares for these players and how the determination that he's going to have when he does get these players here. And never know, some of the players that he recruited went somewhere else. They might come and transfer to him a year later, but he's going to make those ties with the families, all the players.
Yeah, he is. And, it shows him how committed he is to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only as a player, but as a person.
Yeah.
It shows them his commitment, and it gets them a little sense of his style, his play, his attitude, just all around. Let's see. Otis, what's up, Otis? Tyrone says he just got done with summer basketball camp. That's cool. Somebody
Yeah.
told me they saw Pope at Kroger yesterday, and I thought they were lying. Thought he was in Colorado, but I guess he's flying back and forth every other day. He is. He's not staying. Like
Yeah.
I mean, because he was just back for practice yesterday.
Yeah. One of the
conditioning.
Yeah, one of the Krogers. He was. It might have been in Danville, in Lexington. Okay, and he was signing autographs, and yeah.
Yeah, he came back because yesterday was the first day of conditioning, so he's not going to miss that. There were even pictures of him on a treadmill, so even the coach is working out.
Yeah,
not just the team, even
exactly.
the coach is working out. Oh, I got to show y'all my shirt for tonight. January, February, Kentucky, April. Let's see. Communication is the best part about a coach. That is no joke.
Exactly.
And Pope, like these guys have all said, all these recruits have said many times that Pope, like stays in contact. Like whether they've said yes or no, he does not stop contact with them until it's a definite no. And then once they sign and commit to Kentucky, they've said he's in contact with me every day, like before they even came on campus. So, and he's all about the family too, because he's like, he talks to the families, he talks to everybody. And I really think that's a huge part of a coach.
Oh, I believe so too. Tyrone Stokes, he keeps on saying that they Zoom chat at least once or every couple days. He texts him, with with even the players that still that's committed coming in. Moreno, him and with Jasper Johnson being out there, even that they was out there, he would text them when they was in their their rooms, and
Right.
he just like, how's everything going? Everything okay? See you in the morning. Different things. So communication, and Peanut was saying, hope Pope doesn't burn out I believe his energy. You're never going to burn Mark Pope out.
No, I think it's endless. Otis said, I saw the workout practice. They are putting in work. They are.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like he's gonna run their legs off. Like
Hmm.
Pope is gonna Rick Pitino them.
Yeah.
You know, son of a gunner, what's up? Good
Yeah.
to see you joining us tonight. How's it going? And I'm still saying Pepsi. If you you know you can. Yeah, Jasper is recruiting them.
Yeah.
Son of
Yeah.
a gunner, thank you. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
Jasper is recruiting these
The
guys.
the interview Jasper had, it was only like about a 5 minute interview, but he had it with Jason Crow Jr. and he was talking about how much does it mean. He actually put the four teams that he was being recruited by, and he said Alabama, he said Kentucky, Baylor, and like USC. And then Jasper said, okay, let's talk about that number two team that you had on your list, and talking about Kentucky. And
Yeah.
he said, how much difference does it make that Jason Hart is, family basically with you and your dad for Kentucky? And he goes, oh, that definitely makes, the difference. So,
It's got
you know,
something in there. So, that could say he's leaning towards us.
yeah.
But until it's done, it's not done.
No,
So
and me and you, Miss Leigh, we've talked about this. There ain't no reason to really talk about any player and where you think they're going to go or crystal ball right now, because there is November coming up, and that's the early signing date, and then January, February, March is the late signing date. So we
right.
don't know what these players are going to do.
No, and it'll start coming to light eventually. Crystal balls will start coming out.
Yeah,
Travis,
yeah.
what's up?
Hey,
Hello,
Travis.
hope you're doing good. We love
Yeah.
you too.
Hello.
Peanut
Oh,
Pepsi is
hey, Peanut.
underrated.
Yeah, Peanut said that Pepsi's underrated. He must be a Coke fan.
No, not necessarily. He means
Well,
Pepsi is underrated, not
well,
overrated. He means they don't
well,
give Pepsi enough credit.
well. That's true. I don't drink either one of them.
Look,
Yeah.
Pepsi, if you're out there, we need to hashtag Pepsi on this, y'all. But no, I hope y'all are doing good.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's staying out of the storm's paths. So, just to give a few, like some of the names of the 18 guys. L8 is better. Sorry, not sorry. 21. Look,
There we go.
I'm not an L8 person. I'm not a ginger ale person. So you got to like ginger ale to like any of that. But I will say I have drank it tailgating before, but it's not my thing. But like some of the guys that are made the 18 list are Mikhail Brown Jr., who's signed with Louisville, committed to Louisville. Chris Senack from Houston.
Yeah.
Jason Crow. There's a lot of recruits. AJ DeBansta.
Oh yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah. Morez Johnson from Michigan. Brandon McCoy, who is another recruit that we've even talked to and looked at. Tyran Stokes, Elijah Williams. So, there are a lot of guys a lot of good players that are staying in there. And I'm glad Jasper Johnson's one of them.
Yeah, I'm glad he's staying.
Fountain Pepsi at KFC before they switched to Coke. That used to be the best fountain Pepsi everywhere, was KFC's. And then
at KFC. But yeah, I'm glad Jasper's staying. And, there's a lot of people that has talked that Jasper was one of the top 10 players there. And I believe he will make the 12 roster spot. So I'm glad that he's pursuing what he needs to do to get onto this team and be able to play in the summer.
Right, and that's taking place June 28th through July 6th.
Yeah,
that's taking place.
So he's not going to miss a lot of practice at Kentucky. I mean, right now, Kentucky's able to practice 8 hours a day. I think 4 hours has to be like individual, like type thing. It just can't be 8 straight hours, of practice. So,
Right.
but, and they get to do that for 8 weeks. So he's not going to miss a lot of practice time. But
Right.
he's going to be in game shape, ready to play when he comes in.
Yeah, because he's going to be playing. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's sitting around doing nothing or playing video games. Like he's
No.
getting the work in. He's actually playing. So I have no worries there. Okay, what do you want to talk about next?
Let's go ahead.
This one out.
Brent Derbyshire went to Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We were going to talk about next. So he's joining Kerr Kriisa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At Cincinnati. I hope he gets some playing time. I really hate that he really never made it and got any playing time, with us. But it wasn't. Hopefully, the conditioning and everything he did will put him in a good fit for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati. I think he can maybe play, 4, 5, 6 minutes a game in, some of the Cincinnati. I know that Kerr Kriisa, he's probably going to start. So, just him being there with somebody he actually knows that's going to be a great opportunity for both of them. So
it is. Something else in the news in Kentucky basketball news. Jackson Robinson has been cleared for contact. So he is actually playing catch up, and he's meeting with several NBA teams ahead of the draft.
Yeah.
So he's been cleared, and I'm so happy about that.
Jay Billis said today that he thinks he will be drafted.
Yeah, now that he's been cleared for contact, it's very, very possible. That's big, huge news for BBN, I think, and for Jackson, for sure. So I wanted to throw that up there.
If you want to talk about the TBT, the latest was Archie Goodwin. From Kentucky, coming back and going to be playing this year for the TBT La Familia team.
And Khalil Whitney.
Yes.
And, of course, Ansley Almanor announced
Almanor is going to be back.
Glad. So first time check-in, been watching. Do you really believe we got enough shooting? We got everything else but a worry. We got enough shooting. What do y'all think? Alden, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're good on shooting. I don't see any issues. I don't think we've got a lot of guys that can shoot over height, which is big and huge. That's something we haven't really had. We got guys that are willing to drive the basket. We got guys that dunk. We have got more dunkers on this team this year than we have had in 10 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
This is going to be a good shooting team. I don't know if we're going to put up 33s a game like we did, what we was trying to do last year. But I think when we do take threes, it's going to be a high percentage three. When we're driving to the basket, it's going to be high percentage shots. When we are rebounding, playing defense, this is going to be a different type team that we saw last year. But I think it's going to be a better team.
I think we see a lot more of us creating turnovers.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. I see, always been working on his shots like Otis says. That's fact. Tyrone says, I wish they would do past college players like the NBA did, gave former ABA players who played at least 5 years of pinch and check monthly. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? The other guys that are going to be playing are Willie Cauley-Stein, Aaron and Andrew Harrison, Deron Lamb, DeAndre Liggins, and Sean Woods is going to be the coach.
Yeah, he's going to be the coach. Yeah.
Go through the rest of the guys that are going to be on it. JC Wilder, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, JC. Yeah, how you doing, JC?
I'm excited about Cam. He gets better every time I watch him. He does. Cam
Williams
is going to be a beast. I'm just saying, our shooting is not going to be an issue.
I mean, did you see his vertical? He can get up.
It was him, and who was the
the other one was Aberdeen.
Yes, the two of them. Oh my gosh, they were way above the freaking back.
Well, they had their heads above right at the rim. So
they're
This is going to be a long, athletic team that is going to play great defense. They have wingspans. It's way taller than they are. This is going to be a great defensive team, and there's not going to be a lot of negatives on the defensive end where you're going to just see players just drive right past you. They're going to be able to stay in front of their defensively. They're going to be able to stay in front of them.
Oh, exactly. And JC, you're right. Braden Hawthorne is not done growing yet.
No, he might be 6'11". He might end up like Anthony Davis being about like 6'10", 6'11" by the time he ends up growing.
Lamont's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, Lamont. He might be
talking about. Are you talking?
He
about
might be talking about Jalen Lowe.
Or he might be talking about for the NBA.
Or maybe
people on the news media don't believe Jasper will start. I think he will. I've been saying all along, I think Jasper Johnson will start. It also depends on how they do because, Pope says you earn that spot. But yeah. I think Jasper Johnson, I think it's his to lose.
I think it's his to lose. If it's not him, it's going to be Aberdeen.
Yeah, one of those two. But I really think, especially with Jasper making the USA World Cup,
I believe it's going to be Jasper.
I think it will be too. JQ and Mo will cause chaos in the paint. Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I swear, our rebounding is going to be huge. Like, our defense is going to be crazy. I bet we get more second chance points off of rebounds, defensive rebounds than we have in since.
Well, if you watch,
who shall not be named left.
Yeah. I mean, if you watched Alabama and Florida last year, you saw Aberdeen and Diabate. They got more offensive rebounds and putbacks than they actually really took shots. They was there for defense purposes, getting rebounds, putting them back in, but on fast breaks they was great off of transitions too. But they just wasn't like spot up shooters. They hustled, got to the basket, and they went every 50-50 ball they got.
Yeah, if I'm gonna pick, I would probably go Aberdeen and Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over Jalen Lowe.
I mean, yeah. Even notice we haven't mentioned, Jelly. Jellies can shoot the three. He can shoot the three. I mean,
he can shoot. He can drive to the paint.
Yeah, Cam Williams can shoot the three. I mean, everybody on this team can shoot. Even JQ can hit the three.
And Jelly's coming in good shape because he's just been playing in those tournaments over there.
Yeah.
So, he's conditioned. It's not like he's been sitting around either.
I'd say he might be on campus within another week. I'm hoping.
There's some kind of issue that's...
Well, all the players has to go through that.
Yeah, but I think they were saying it was going to take a little bit longer.
Well, the thing is, half the team that he played for is coming to play college basketball this year. So if he's not able to play, then all the other players should not be able to play.
Exactly.
Because Auburn has got a player from the same team, and I think there's other teams in the United States that half the players off of that team is coming.
Right, yeah. Oh, JC, yeah, me too. I knew he was going. Otis, you're right. Jelly is going to surprise everybody. He is. He's amazing at the four.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrone, I agree with you. And there are no egos.
No, there won't be no
egos because Pope doesn't take players with egos. Because if you have an ego, you're not playing for the name on the front. You're playing for yourself, and Pope doesn't take those.
No,
I think we're good.
Yeah, we'll be good on that aspect. I mean, Pope will take care of that if there's anything going on, and I believe there's some players on this team that'll take care of that too.
Right. And Peanut, that does make sense that Jasper might come off the bench. Like I said, I think it's just really going to depend on who's playing right at the time, who's doing the best.
Well, the thing is,
a good game.
Like BC always says, who is playing defense the best is going to play and start. If Jasper's playing great on defense, Aberdeen's playing great on defense, then it's going to be who is actually playing better in practice. But if one slacks off on playing defense, the other one's going to start.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be you have to perform and produce to keep your spot.
Yeah.
Um, let's remind everybody about the event coming up July 19th.
July 19th. Yeah.
The 3 versus 3 8 team basketball tournament, Loyal BBN fan show versus Kentucky Live.
Yeah.
It's for charity for the tornado victims in London, Kentucky. It's going to be at the
Hmm.
Lexington Ice Center. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. It's $10 to get in. There are no advance tickets, and we hope to see all of you out there.
Yeah.
What's
Everybody.
up, Big Mike? Good morning from Saudi Arabia. He says, "What's up, Big Mike?"
There we go. There we go. Hey, Big Mike, I got your text a little bit ago and stuff and everything right before the show, but I didn't expect for you to get up and watch the show. I
No,
figured
but
you could
thank
just got a
you.
good night's sleep. But thank you so much for being on here. Everybody, give a shout out to Big Mike. I mean, he's done so much for me, myself, Miss Leigh, BC 21, everything. We are so much appreciated for you, Big Mike.
He is the reason we're here, y'all.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So, give him props. He's getting ready for work. Oh, gosh. Yeah. But we're so
Yeah.
glad you jumped on here for a minute. We understand the time difference, and, it's 7 hours
Yeah.
ahead of us right now. So we understand. But thank you for jumping in. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
Low
Otis.
defense on
It's
trend.
going to be about matchups with
Yeah,
what
which guy's
teams will.
better
Yeah.
suited for which guy?
Well, Peanut just said that low defense like Travis Perry. Low is a way better defender than you saw him play last year at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He had to do everything on offense. So when he played defense, he was probably tired. And you just can't ask a player to score 16 points and do everything that he did and be the best offensive player and the best defensive player on the team. I mean, he's not Michael Jordan. Yeah, I mean
No.
that Jordan could do that, but players like him, with what he did at Pittsburgh was enough just being the offensive player.
Oh, yeah.
And in Kentucky, he's not going to have to worry about defending like two or three different players because Kentucky's going to have Oway. They're going to have Aberdeen. They're going to have Jasper Johnson. They're going to have everybody around him that he does not have to worry about just worrying about his man.
Oh yeah, exactly. Another little interesting tidbit of information: Kentucky hired Jalen or added Jalen Green
Yeah,
as a graduate assistant for the season this
for the
year on
for
the
the season.
bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, he let's see, he played at Ohio,
Yeah.
at the Dominican, and Transylvania, and
Hmm.
in Lexington previously. So he's going to be a good one, you know, to have on the as a graduate assistant. He was Low will have a lot of help. He was their whole team. Low is our floor general.
Yeah,
It's
he's
very,
going to be a
very
floor
possible.
general. I mean, he's going to be so much. I know everybody was kind of down on him with his 3-point shooting, what his percentages were. I mean, all that's going to improve. You saw what happened last year with some of the players that transferred in. They actually improved, and
Yeah.
every player that Mark Pope has from one year to the next, even their first year coming in, they're going to be a lot better on this coming year's team.
They always are. Every single player has improved under Mark Pope.
Yeah.
Everybody's stats went up from what they were. So, you know, you can say, okay, here he did this, but it goes back to what I said before. It's
Hmm.
all about who you have around you, too. If you don't have the supporting other four players around
Yeah.
you, it doesn't matter what you can or cannot do. You're not going to be able to do it if you don't have the other pieces to the puzzle.
Hmm.
You can be out there and be the best player, but if you got crap around you,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So his play could have been affected by the rest of the team.
Oh well, yeah. You if you watch some of their games last year, you could see how it affected him. And it was just not a good coaching situation, anything else. So I felt for him, and that though I felt for him after I've watched his films, and now that he's going to be at Kentucky, he's just going to walk down the court after making a bucket and be like, goodness gracious, this is a different situation. I love this.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be great. It is. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Can we have basketball tomorrow, please?
I wish we could. I mean,
Man.
I'm like you, Miss Leigh. I'm biting for it. I'm itching for it, and watching like old videos of
Dude.
the teams, and some of the games last year, and some of the game from the 96, 98. Just getting that vibe back, and just like, yeah, I'm ready to see basketball.
I'm just like, the withdrawals are real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching it too. I go back and watch games, but in Kentucky, basketball withdrawals are a real thing. The struggle is real, y'all. The struggle is real. Lowe's going to remind me of Rondo. Yes, Otis, I have said that more than once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have said that more than once. Lowe
I believe, JC, I believe that Lowe will maybe lead the SEC in assists and maybe have 7-8 assists a game.
That's very possible. That's very possible. If he can get through and he can make the passes, that's very, very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Capel is an awful coach. Fact.
Oh, yeah, that's fact.
I'm sure Lowe will be good offensively, but you can't change that. So he's undersized in a league full of huge guards.
Well, I mean, Lamont Butler wasn't tall. He's about the same size. I mean, you've seen smaller point guards in the SEC that is so super quick and can pass. They can hit that wide open three. He's going to be the same. Tyler Eulis, Travis Ford. I mean, there's been. Lamont Butler wasn't a tall guard. He was like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. I believe that Lowell is about the same size as he was.
As Travis Ford, yeah, he is. He definitely is. I'm watching with Tyrone. Oh, I can't see all of the comment, but it'll come up.
Yeah, but if he can shoot like Tyler or Travis Ford, I will be happy.
Yeah, I will too. I will too, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going back over here to the chat. All right, I'm good. He would have last season. I'm watching reruns on incoming players. I watched those too. I watched that. I watched all the stuff on the new guys coming in. He would have last season, but his team couldn't shoot. Yeah. I mean, he was with a team that really couldn't shoot. Tony Delk. Love Tony Delk. One of my favorite players ever. So I love Tony. Tony Delk will always be legendary.
Yeah, when if you want to play defense, that's when you are a great basketball player. When you decide you want to play defense, and that's basically you live for that every day, and you're like, I want to improve on your defense. That's when you're going to be a great player.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, it takes that drive, that dedication. Mm-hmm. And I think all these guys, I mean, seeing them in the gym before conditioning even started, seeing them in the gym working on stuff, seeing them working out, seeing them practice their shots, I really think that shows their dedication.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to be there, but they were. So I really think that shows their dedication, and that's what we need.
Yeah, the Peanut was saying he thinks he was actually 6 foot according to the combine. That might have been without his shoes on. I don't know how they did that, but he was listed at 6'3". But you know how that changes. People list a player 6'4" and they really be 6'1".
Exactly. They're never exactly the same. Big Mike says Lowe will have so much help around him that his defense will improve. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes back to whatever you have around you will let you play your best game.
And like Otis said, he played with a broken finger last year.
And a bad team.
On a bad team. And still
So
averaged 15, 16 points a game.
But playing with a broken finger shows commitment, even
Yep.
on a bad team, even on a team that's, he still gave it everything he had.
Yep.
Travis says, don't forget about Richie Farmer. He was a small guy too.
Oh, yeah.
Farmer.
Richie was a great player, I'll tell you.
JC says, I call that being a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog. Yeah.
He was. He was a dog for sure. What else you got, Jimmy?
I was going to hit on a little bit of a recruiting question for you. Which players do you think that Pope is targeting the most, right now? And do you think he's going to actually maybe go after 3 or 5 players, or you think it's going to be 1 or 2, 3 players?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually have a list of players that I think, because I knew. Okay, so Jason Crow, I think, is a definite.
Yes.
We're going after. Take Any is a definite. That Deron Rippey Jr.
Deron Rippey.
I think he's a definite somebody that will go after. And the other one, Tyron Stokes, of course.
Yeah.
And then there was another one.
Christian Collins.
Christian Collins, yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be something to have two? We have a Collin and a Collins.
Yeah. I believe that might be the 4 or 5 players that he's going to target and go after the most. And if he misses on one, he still have maybe some other players. But I believe maybe he might get 2 or 3 of those. Do you think he would? You think he's going to? If all 5 said, "I want to come to Kentucky," I'm sure he's not going to say no. But do you think there's just going to be 2 or 3 that he targets as most? Maybe like Stokes, Collins, and maybe Ty Kenny.
Yeah, I think that he's got the top that he wants out of that group, but you never stop with just those. You always have to have the others just in case.
Yeah.
So I think those are his top.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peanut, that's where I watch him, is on YouTube. Otis.
Yeah.
I agree with you about Reese Potter putting on weight. He is going to be a game changer.
He is going to
be. You're right. You have to step up or sit the bench. JC, he looked great versus Ohio State and Duke. Yeah. I mean, any given night, somebody can have a bad game.
Yeah, Reese Potter, I would not put it out there. He plays a few minutes here and there every game. It might be that he just comes in for 2 or 3 minutes and gives a, maybe JQ and maybe Brandon Garrison might be in foul trouble, and he might just come in and give about 2 or 3 minutes until JQ can get back in and get his win back, or vice versa.
Right, and if he does put on weight and really gets his game together, he may end up starting at some point.
Well, I mean, he played great minutes at Miami. I mean, he started like 15 something games. He averaged a good small amount, but he has experience playing, just like they were saying against Duke, Ohio State. He's played against Indiana. He had a good game against Indiana. He's got experience for the D1.
Yeah, he does, and I think he could really be a game changer, but I think it might be next year.
Yeah,
I agree with you as far as him coming in and giving you guys a rest and giving guys a break and things like that. But I think if he stays, I think he's really going to shine and step up next year.
Oh yeah, he's just going to be. This year coming in, he's just going to be a junior. So he's got all this year.
Another year.
And so he's got another year with him, and so there's a 7'2" on the roster that we're going to have, next year.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be great for our guys, especially in practice and things like that, because they need that height to shoot over, to get used to shooting over something.
Yeah, that's going to help Brandon Garrison. That's going to help JQ. Even. Diabate, Jelly, all those players down low, it's going to help them getting that shot over top of 7'2" player in practice.
If you don't have a guy that tall in practice to actually go against, You can't imagine. You can shoot all day and you can try to shoot up and over, but until you actually have somebody standing there with their hands up,
Yeah.
you don't know. You
We
can't
we
judge
used
it unless you do it.
but when we had a smaller teams and stuff like that I was playing with in practice, they would use a broomstick and put a
Okay.
broomstick way up over top, and you would have to shoot over top of the broomstick.
Okay. Hey, put that back up there, 21,
What
please, or
conference
I can
game are
see it.
y'all most excited for?
First, let me say, how you doing, A? Good to see you. The first out of conference game. Which out of conference game are we most excited for? Indiana, Louisville, Michigan State, St. John's, UNC, Gonzaga. I'm gonna go with St. John's just because I want to see the master and the student.
Yeah, I would say St. John's is my top pick. We played Gonzaga last year, so that one, UNC, that don't really impress me too much. Uh,
And
it,
I always want to beat Louisville and
yeah,
Indiana since we're getting them back now.
Indiana is a good game that I want to see because that's at Rupp Arena. The Louisville game is always going to be special. I wish that game was later on in the season, but it's not. Michigan State, but yeah, I'm gonna take St. John's, and I'm gonna say like Indiana, Michigan State. If I ranked them, Louisville, I would say Gonzaga, UNC last because I don't. UNC at Rupp Arena, I believe Kentucky is going to be able to handle that game pretty easy.
See, I would change it. I would say St. John's, and then I would say Indiana because we're
Yeah.
finally getting them back. And then I would go with Louisville because I always want to beat Louisville. And then I would probably say Gonzaga, UNC, Michigan State.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Gonzaga is always good to beat. It's great for the resume.
Well, we've got them in Nashville, so that's going to be a great game down in
JC
Nashville.
agrees with St. John's. Yes, St.
Yeah.
John's.
I don't know if Florida Beanut, if they're going to play that 7'9" player this year or not. Today I was watching a little bit where they was talking about Florida, but they didn't mention his name or anything. But I don't know how.
He's a freaky looking dude.
Yeah, I don't know how good he's going to be playing. I'd be hate to put him out on the floor. I'd pray he might get broken half. He's not very big.
21 says his is Indiana or UNC just for the nostalgia, and that makes a lot of sense.
Well,
too.
yeah, 21.
The reason Indiana's my number 2 is because Bobby Knight, the whole Kentucky Indiana thing, and we haven't played them in so long, so that's why it's 2 for me.
Well, see, that's why I had Indiana up there because they got a new coach, and then they got one of the players that we was recruiting, so I want to beat him. So yeah.
So we'll see how they do with West Virginia's old coach because that's going to be a change for them.
Yeah.
But when your whole stadium, when the whole arena is yelling fire Woods, and I mean,
yeah,
it's time. It's it is what it is. Peanut says Louisville's huge. Can't start the season with a loss to them. I'm not worried about losing to Louisville.
I would be upset, but I would rather beat Purdue in that exhibition game. And I know BC's going to hate me, but
that is not an exhibition game.
I would rather play and beat Purdue. If all of our players are playing and all their players play, I would rather have that win and then go into the Georgetown game, win that game, 2 exhibition games. And then if they add a game or 2 before the Louisville game, which I think they still got to add 3 more games to our non-conference schedule this year. But if we lose to Louisville on November the 11th, we got a long year and we can play them again.
Exactly. And BC, this is a shout out to you. I know you might not be watching, but if you watch this, Purdue should not be an exhibition game.
No, yeah, me and BC talked about this Monday night. It should not be. It should not be an exhibition game. If you're going to play a game like this, go ahead and play it in November, December.
I'm just trying to just give a shout out to BC, and I got your back, man. I got your back. I want to see all from 1 to 36 on how many it takes to get to the championship. I'm going to be my favorite. Tyrone, we all want to see him win all of them.
Yeah.
All of us. Odds Pope finds a way to put Kelsey in a headlock again. I hope he does. Oh,
It
that
wasn't
would be
really a
hilarious.
headlock. He just kind of had his
He
head
kind of
hand.
nougated.
But yeah, he kind of
him.
yeah. But Pope's so big, it looked like he with Pat Kelsey, he looked so big up against him. You're thinking, oh, he's got him in the headlock.
I want to see him give him a noogie. I want to see him get him and just. I would love it. I would love it if we beat him and he gives him a noogie. That would be great.
Well, let's talk about our player, spotlight. We
kind of did that already.
Well, we kind of did it, but we haven't talked about everything about our player spotlight is Jasper Johnson, and I I live here in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, and his grandmother lives right across the street from my dad. I don't talk to her a lot and everything, and I don't ask her any questions. I leave her alone. But I remember him when he was like 4, 5, 6 years old, and seeing him running around his grandmother's house. And I know his dad and met him. But he is a great upbringing. I mean, he's going to be a super great player for this team. And Mark Pope has already, raved about him, how jaw-dropping good, great player that he's going to be for this team this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. I gotta just give a shout out to Big real quick as he just joined us. Says I don't care if it's the Blind Girls University. I'm ready to see them beat anybody.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact. But Jasper Johnson, one of the quotes that was said about him was they said that he's got big energy and a bigger vision.
Yeah.
So somebody that's got that kind of just vision, like he wants number 9.
Mm-hmm.
He wants this so bad.
Well, when he signed with Kentucky and had that shirt made up and it says KY till I die. I mean, yep. he said he just come up with it and he said that's what I'll be for the rest of my life. Yeah, so he wants number 9. I mean, he's going to be a great, combo guard. He can play point guard. He can play shooting guard. He's 6'4", 180 is what he was listing. 180, 185. He's probably going to have a little bit more weight on him between now and then. Maybe 190. 195, but he's going to wear number 2, so everybody's going to be watching for number 2 next year, all the Kentucky State fans. And but I mean, explosive, great shooter, great ball handler. The one thing I want to see him do is become a great defender.
Yes, and I think he will have that chance. I think he's going to get more opportunities. JC says a lefty with a quick shot.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds you of, how many times did Brea just and put it up without even stopping and hesitating. We've had guys that have that quick shot, and I've seen, you can't deny that those quick shots are what gets us points.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you don't have all day to stand there. You got guys everywhere on you, get it off. And being a lefty is going to be a huge advantage.
Yeah. It always is, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people that's on here that has watched his mixtapes. Everybody looks great on mixtapes. But if you watch his games and stuff, how quick he could get his shot up from 25, 30 feet, and it's just nothing but net. That's what he's going to be able to do. And it's not like he's going to be doubled or triple teamed at Kentucky because we're going to have so many good players. And he's just going to have his moments.
Oh, yeah. Exactly, but he's not afraid to drive to the basket either.
No.
I mean, I think he's going to be a beast.
Oh, he's not afraid to try to dunk on you either.
No, he don't care. Like he will do whatever the situation needs, and I think he's good in all aspects. He can get downhill quick.
Yeah,
like off the bounce, off the dribble. Get the ball off the rim and get down that floor. Like he is so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Mark. How you doing? Glad to see you. Thanks for joining us. Mark says we need to start off the season with a quad 1A win.
We get that quad 1A win at Louisville in the Yum Center. Yeah, that's going to be special.
And what do I call it?
You call it the Dumb Center, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The chicken bucket.
Or the chicken bucket. Center. Yeah.
I'm going to that game, y'all. I will be there. I'm going to that game.
I wish we could get credentials and be able to go to
Me too.
that game, or be able to go to some of the, like the Indiana game at Rep Arena, or something like that. Just
I wish we
games,
could too.
be able to get some credentials. 21, hey, you need to work on that.
Yeah, we could use that, man. All right. Heck yeah. 21, we count on you, man, because you got the connects for this for us. But and we gave Mike a shout out because we wouldn't be here without him.
Oh,
we
yeah,
wouldn't
we
be
got to
here
give a
without
shout out.
21 as well, because 21 is there for us when we need him. He's here to do the show, and especially with Mike being 2:30 in the morning there, 21 has really done a lot. He's the one that's putting this tournament together. Like, he is really, really out there working for the BBN, y'all. So we need to give him a shout out. Props to 21. We love 21. Put it on the screen, man. We love 21.
But we're the ones here actually, doing the show and stuff, and we do research and find out what's going on with all these players, recruiting. Yeah, we love 21. But if it wasn't for Big Mike and 21 in the background, they're doing what they got to get done, and they do a great job doing it. 21's doing a great job with this the 3-on-3 charity tournament we're going to have on July the 19th. This is just something that we you don't see them, but we guarantee we respect them. And y'all just need to give out a shout out and say, hey, thanks, Big Mike. Thanks, 21. Put it over here. JC,
hit
everybody.
The like button for
hit
Big
the like
Mike
button.
21.
Hit the subscribe button, like button. Everything is so much appreciated. With what everybody is on here talking. It just, it's a Wednesday night, 7:00. Everybody is on here. They're talking, having a good time. So, we just love that we're able to get on here with you all.
Yeah, and we appreciate each and every one of you that are watching tonight. And remember, we'll be back on again next Wednesday at 7.
And we're always going to be on here on Monday nights at 6. So, everybody join in and, participate. And, we didn't have any, I don't think we had any able to do calls or anything tonight, but we could probably do something like that on Monday or next Wednesday. We can figure something out with that. But
and we don't see Carl. Okay, wait.
Carl's I haven't seen Carl. Tonight. I haven't seen Carl.
And William Mercury's not.
Mercury, I haven't seen Mercury.
Probably driving.
He's probably driving because he texted me yesterday morning and said that he was just getting up and getting back on the road, so he might be on the road right now. So
okay, well, to my buddy Denny and to Carl and to Mercury not being here tonight, not seeing you, we love you guys. Thank you too. We appreciate you when you're here, and we hope you get to watch this. And if you do, hey.
Yeah. Well, Miss Leigh, it's about almost an hour. You got anything else you want to talk about or anything? We're just going to make it about an hour show, rest of the summer long.
One more thing, Dante, thank you for joining us. And yes, the interview with Jasper and Jason Crow today was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. We talked about that a little bit this earlier. But yeah, that was an awesome interview. Even Jason Crow interviewed him. They put the microphone in Jason Crow's hand, and they was talking back and forth. So that was a good, conversation.
It really was, because that's just leaning him more towards us. So we're good with that. Thank you, Jasper, for recruiting for Kentucky. But I don't have anything else, Jimmy, not for tonight.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. There's not a lot going on. With anything with sports, I mean, besides NBA playoffs and stuff like that, that's about the only thing going on. I know that OKC is up 3-2, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is rocking it for Kentucky. It looks like if they play, I think they play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And if they win the series.
Oh, and Louisville lost today in baseball.
Oh yeah, Louisville did lose today. I saw some of that.
I was like LSU because SEC.
I believe LSU in Arkansas is playing now.
Yeah, so that'll be another we watch. But I love you guys. we thank you for being here. Subscribe, hit the like button, and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody, me and Miss Leigh is so privileged to be here with you all. Thank you, 21, for being in the background. Peanut, Dante, JC, everybody that's been on here today. Thank you so much. Everybody like that. And we'll see you next Wednesday. And for the rest of your all's week, have a great work week, great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Go Big Blue.